Hi everyone, it's Denise with Wondubar Crafts. Today I'm back to try and finish up the project I had created the altered playing cards with. I backed these two with copy stain paper, and I'll use those as little tags. This one I just Mod Podged part of a holiday or Thanksgiving napkin on there. The same with these. I did a couple little pumpkins on the back of those. And I had to restamp this one, the brown. For some reason when it dried it faded really bad, so I had to ink over the top of it, and I kind of like how it came out. So those I will set aside for inside the journal somewhere. But this is the other one I did. It has the acorn. I did not decorate the back, but I grabbed another one and I decorated this portion because that's what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. If you've had a chance to watch Crafty Cats video for her little frame, you'll probably kind of understand where this is going. If not, I will link her video up here at the top. Just click on the little eye up there and you'll be able to watch that video to see what she did on hers. And so also I decided on what cover I'm going to use for this. This is I got this, I got it from Tammy in My World in OKC's, her live sale. She had some Reader's Digest, so I got this one. It's got like the fall leaves on it in a little bit different color, and I like it. And because the spine has come off, I'll redo. I'm gonna gut it anyways, and I will use the pages in here for other stuff, building tags and everything. But this one's a 1958 volume 4 1958 Reader's Digest book, so it's old. But I will gut it and I'll use the book covers. I typically cover them, you know, like I'd like to do my slow stitching and all that stuff, but I'm going to do it that way with the spine. So with this one. So let's get started. Let me set this aside. So what I've done is I figured out what I'm going to do essentially is I'm going to put this card and back them like this. I'm going to have some fabric in the center, and I'm going to do a frame, and it's going to sit in the frame, and then the fabric will be, you'll have fabric fringe, and then there'll be some, I'm going to use some tulle in between the two, and then this will kind of suspend between the two, and you'll see. So that's why I did not back this one with anything. So, because this will be the backing for it, and this will be the front for it. So what I had to do is do some measurements to figure out what size frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little We Are Memory Keepers punch board for it. What I wanted to do was make this a 1/2 inch frame with a 1/2 inch space in between, and then the card's going to sit in the center. So I had to do some measuring. These particular cards are 2.5 wide by 3.5 long in length. And as you can see now, I had to do my little scribble. But then I want a 1/2 inch on either side, so that adds an inch on both directions, and then a 1/2 inch frame. Same thing. So essentially I'm going to add 2 inches to each side. So I had to cut my paper 5.5 by 4.5. Okay, so this will be like the front, and this will be the back of the frame, like that. It'll be sandwiched in there. So you could go either way with it if you want it. So grab my little punch board here. Oop. Alright, so what I want on this is a 1/2 inch. So I just move these little toggles here to the 1/2 inch mark, which I believe is there. And Make sure I get the right one. Otherwise we will be off. Okay. And then the great thing about this is you just stick it in there and punch each of the corners. And the same thing with this one. And then we just take our little thing here. Let's see, it was 1/2 inch, so we got to make sure we move that up to the 1/2 inch mark and set that in there. I like to do this so that I can see where the line is and where to start and stop, because I don't want to go too far, because otherwise if you go all the way across, obviously you're going to cut into your frame, so we don't want to do that. And I'm just using some, it's an older pack of Bo Bunny. It's the Enchanted Harvest collection. I think I got this last year. I think mine Tuesday morning had it still, like earlier this spring, still in stock, but I don't know if they still have it or not. But I liked this one because it has little fairies and mushrooms and stuff on it. And her kit has a lot of mushrooms, and I will save that portion to make a tag with it later. So I'll set that aside. Actually, I'll put it in my little thing. So now I have a little frame, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. Quick and easy. So how's everyone doing? Monday. Kids, I guess, back to school today. And back to work. Oof. And sometimes with these kind of punch boards, you have to, and that'll make a cute little tag, don't you think? Or a little journaling card. Okay. And sometimes with these, you have to kind of trim the edges. If, see, like this portion right here, I'm going to have to trim that a little bit, but it's not a big deal. It made it much easier than trying to take an X-Acto knife, because me and X-Acto knives don't get along that well. I always seem to either slice my fingers and I don't want to push my luck in losing a finger. I need them to craft with. Okay, so let me just, there we go, trim that off, make sure, let's see, kind of even that up a little bit. And that is a little drawback to those punch boards. They're not perfect, but it does make, you know, a nice frame for you. And let's see, that one's good. Sorry. It's a nice day out today. I think we're in the 70s, so it's like perfect weather. I whisper because, you know, drop of a hat, it can change again. Yeah, but I definitely think fall has finally arrived. There you go. I think that's good. Oh, I got a little straggler there. Alright, so what she had done is I pulled a bunch of different fall colored fabrics that I had I thought would go good. And she just decorated one side of it. So let's see. I think I want to do this one. And see, what will happen is this will set in here. And before we glue that in, I'll sew it down and all that wonderful stuff. So I think kind of what I want to do, and I've got some ribbon and all that kind of stuff too that I can use. Tons of it. And we'll just start making snippets here. Of different segments. And of course mine is not as thick as hers, so I probably will not use as big of a snippet piece. So, and I think what I'm going to do is just kind of go down into like little segments of it. So I want to make sure that my fabric, and I think what I'm going to do is like do it so it's both sided. See, this fabric it's either side you can use. So I'll start gluing that down. And this might take a little time here to do this. I don't know if this will hold my fabric or not. We're going to find out. Put a little, because I'm going to sew over the frame, do a little zigzag or something on there to keep it in place, obviously. So let's see. I don't know what is tinging. I noticed that on my last video too. Something was tinging. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the camera. I don't know if it's the camera arm because it's metal or what, but something is tinging. It's kind of driving me crazy. All right, let's see. And then I had some really pretty, I got some pretty yarn, and I got a skein of this beautiful, it's like a mix of ribbon and sari and just sparkly eyelash and goodness and all that stuff, which I thought would be great also to make a tassel, I think, for this journal. And then I have a hodgepodge of, it's a big bag full of different like scraps. So I thought I don't know where the end of this is or where the beginning is, if there even is one. I'm pretty sure there is somewhere, but I will just take some snippets off of it. Because I like the color on it. So, I think, I'm sure you guys are getting the idea of what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna pause and get a lot more of this done. When I almost finished, I will come back and show you, because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to sit and watch an hour of that going on. So let me just do some, and then I'll come back and we'll do the last little bit here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am almost finished. I got quite a bit done. But as you can see, of course, I'll have to retrim this once it dries up a little bit. But that's essentially what it is. I know she did a much thicker frame with a thicker cardstock, but I think this will work okay once it dries. So, and all I'm doing is just taking some snippets, and to make sure that it shows on both ends, since it will be double-sided. just gluing these two pieces together because I just want it tacked enough, because I am, once the other frame goes on here and I cut it down a little bit, then I am going to sew it. So we'll get some green in there. Okay, a few more pieces. I think we will be good there. And then I can possibly trim it down. Oh, Amy, how did you keep all the thread off of your glue? Because it is just going everywhere. But I guess I needed a laugh today. I like this fabric, but I don't think I'm going to have enough room in there. So I might put a little bit darker piece with some leaves on it. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. And of course we'll have to go in here and cut that down. Oh my goodness, my poor glue. Oh goodness, how am I going to get that off? I guess I'll just try and use my finger best I can. Oh well, it's glue, right? Okay, so now to cut this without screwing it up too much. Yeah, right. So I think what I'm going to do is just make a little, and it's okay, I think, if I have a little bit sticking out, you know. I think it'll be all right. And it might have been better to do this with a little bit thicker cardstock, or, you know, a couple layers of it. I am thinking. Of course, it might not be so bad once it dries, so I'm trying to keep from cutting the paper, obviously. Oh, goodness, come on. I think I need to get that piece just a little bit closer. And she had, I think she said she had some frames that she's had for years for her scrapbook, because she used to do scrapbooking. So she has had them. They were like a way thicker. I don't know if they were actual like thin wood or what. So, but anyhow. You know, I wanted to give it a try, and this is what we're going to do. And it may still come out pretty nice in the end. Okay, so that is our frame. That's going to be our front, and this will be our back. And I'm not ready to put that in there yet, because what I want to do is I want to put, this is what I essentially want to do. I don't know if I want to double this or keep it single, but this will go in between in here. And then I will glue one card here. So it will be like that. And then we'll put the other frame on it, obviously, but I want to glue this in there so that it's center in there like that. So it kind of is suspended with the net, but I don't know if it would be better to double up the tool on there to make it a little bit stronger. Obviously, I think I will. I think I'll double it up. So what I want to do is cut my tool. So let's see, the inside of the frame was what, 5.5. So that means that's 5. So if I think go 5 1/4, and that would make it 10.5. So okay, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to cut it down just a little bit more. But I can do that after I get this. If I can get it from not sticking together. Okay. So I think I am going to use my Scotch glue on this because I am going to sew over it as well. So I am going to, I think, kind of mark the middle here so I know kind of where to stick it in the middle. So if it is 2.5, there we go, kind of in the middle there, just to try and get it. It doesn't have to be perfect, trust me. I am not perfect. So plenty of glue on there. Kind of see if we can't get that just about in the center. And then make sure we do the correct side here. I don't know. I thought it would be fun to do this. All right, let me make sure this is right side up. Okay. Okay. And then I am going to go sew this real quick so it stays together. And actually, I think I may have to I want that to be off. I don't know, I may have made a bigger project than I thought. It happens, I guess, sometimes. So, anyway. Okay, for some reason the glue, I guess, is not going to stick it, so I'm just going to have to sew it. So I will be right back. Let me go sew this. Okay, so I sewed around the card. So, and then now what I want to do is, since this is those are extra little bits. I want to get this on here so that I have just about 1/2 inch here. So it kind of suspends in there. Like that. Just as a decorative card, I think. And so I may have to trim that a little bit. Let me get this in camera so you guys can see. I don't want too much of it hanging out. I mean, it's okay if a little bit hangs out of the frame. I just want to make sure that it isn't too much. That is a finger. Okay, all right, so let me kind of get this centered back in here again. Just going to eyeball it. And then I'm going to tack this down, and then I will do a stitch around that. I don't know if I'm going to do zigzag or I haven't decided yet. Oh, gosh. The dog must hear something. Barking at it. All right. What is it, monkey, huh? What do you hear? Okay. So, kind of want to try and make sure it lines up with that other, I must be here in the planes, with that other frame in there. So, let me see, what can I use? Let's get some paper clips here. See if I can. Kind of make sure that it stays even while I am stitching. So this is a little bit of the booger part. And of course, me, I gotta make everything difficult. Can't just be easy, Denise, come on. Okay, that should kind of hold it in place while I stitch it. So let me go and stitch that and see what we end up with. And I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I did do a zigzag stitch around it, and as you can see, it's kind of suspended in the center with some of that tulle, and it's double-sided, so, you know, you have one side here, you can journal on this. I smoothed it all out. You could easily, I don't know, maybe make a little pocket in here or something, or you could just, you know, decoupage a plain piece back there so you can have larger writing space. But for me, I think it looks pretty if you just write over the top of it as well. So, but this is, like I said, my kind of altered frame that Crafty Cat had made. And I just kind of altered a little bit with plain card. Just to kind of make it kind of suspend there. I think it's kind of cute. But it'll be a nice in a nice tuck spot or something, you know, some decoration. Pretty. I think it is anyway. It was well worth it, even though it just kind of popped in my head after I seen hers. Like I said, I had like 3 or 4 different things pop in my head, and then this is kind of where it ended up. So I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys will try something, you know, experiment a little bit, even if it's just with playing cards, or just with frames, you know. It's a lot of fun, and it's very easy. Just use your little scraps, or you could even use paper scraps and just kind of do, you know, your little collage there around the outer edge, and just have fun, play. It's what it's about, right? It's how we create. So anyways, guys, I hope you like it. Amy, I hope I didn't butcher your dream or your you know, envision there too bad. But anyways, guys, until next time, plenty of hugs, loves, and blessings. Bye bye.